Hi, this is My Two Favorite Librarians. I'm Denise Corey.
I'm Chantel Taylor, and this week we're talking about work book clubs versus personal book clubs.
And so when we say work book clubs,
we mean book clubs that staff run at the library.
Yeah. So they're not work book clubs for other people. For us, they're work.
Yes.
Although I have to say, it's good work.
Yes. We don't get to read at work, though.
No.
We do have to read on our own time.
I don't get to read at work. It is unfortunate. I wish I could read at work.
Yeah.
I wish I was paid for reading. But it's really interesting to run a book club. You get to hear a lot of people's opinions. You read a lot of different books. There are books that I would maybe never pick up.
And we, for our book clubs, I don't know how, because we've got book clubs in Amherst, Pugwash, Spring Hill, Oxford. Is that
Oxford is brand new this year, yeah.
I thought they started last year. Didn't they do a couple of book clubs last year? Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And what we do, what Denise and I do in ours, is we collect book ideas from our book club. We go through like the Goodreads list. We go through like
whatever celebrities are recommending.
Yeah,
whatever is on, like, you know, your book club should read these lists.
Other library book clubs. And then our book club members vote for the next year. So like in June, my book club votes for what we're going to read from September to June of the next year.
Yes. So what, your book club did the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge this summer.
Yeah, so we usually read a book. I think both of our book clubs do. We read a book over the summer.
Yeah.
And I mean, the summertime.
In September.
Yeah, in the summertime, you want to be a bit more relaxed. And I know, like, a couple of years ago, my book club voted to read. Oh my gosh, the name just went right over my head. Like,
Ulysses.
Ulysses by James Joyce. And I was like, you've ruined my summer. And one of my book club members actually yelled at me, I can't believe you let us pick that book. I think Marilyn Young read 13 pages, and she was the most. So we like to do something more fun in the summer. So Pop Sugar, you could kind of read what you want and fit it into a category.
Because there are a lot of categories. And we've talked about Pop Sugar before, because I'm doing the Pop Sugar Reading Challenge this year.
I actually got quite a few categories. Like, I think I have 10 or 12 maybe that I've managed to shoehorn all my romance into.
Oh, so much romance. My book club is doing the latest Jodi Picoult. You know what? I started to read it. I'm not loving it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it, which is very unusual for me.
Yes, and I'm exactly the opposite.
I do give up on books. I give up on books all the time, but I don't normally give up on books I'm reading for book club.
And I really feel like it's a form of torture to have to read a book that I don't want to read. And so what I normally do is I read like a couple of chapters, and if I'm really despising it, I usually go to the end of the book and read the last chapter and then sort of skim my way back through the book to figure out what's happened.
Yeah. And if you're in my Thursday morning, my book club, I should mention, it meets at the Amherst Library on the fourth Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. So we're like an early morning, well, not early morning, but a morning book club. And so if you're in my book club, don't listen because this is spoilers. I really did not like, normally I like Jodi Picoult.
I've never read a Jodi Picoult.
But we also have a personal book club.
We do, yes, which is, well, for you, is much more wine drinking.
I do enjoy wine.
And you're not allowed to drink wine at work book club.
No. And there's a lot of snacks.
Yes, good snacks.
And it's lovely, intelligent women from Amherst and me. And
although we do joke and call it wine club, we do actually talk about books.
We do. And we talk about the book that we picked for the month, but we also talk about a lot of other books.
Yeah, because we usually end up recommending things for each other.
Yeah. And or doing the exact opposite. Like, I would say to you, don't read this book. You're not going to like it. Chantel doesn't like anything that's Canadian or dystopian.
No.
So if it's Canadian dystopian, she's right out. Not there.
What was that book called that you guys, Station 7?
Station 11. Oh, Station 11 was so great. Canadian dystopian. She wouldn't read it, but it was so good.
My book club read it last year, and I think they really liked it.
It was so good. And you should read it. Our personal book club is going to be reading American War by Omar El-Akkad. You are not going to read it.
No, I'm not going to read it.
It's he's a Canadian author.
And that is fiction.
It's fiction, yeah. Although it's set in the United States, he is a Canadian author, and it's set in the future, and it's after the next American Civil War. Now, I do remember you picking the book up and looking at the back, and it said that the next American Civil War started in the year 2074, and you were like surprised that it would take that long.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Gilead is looking closer every day.
Gilead is from The Handmaid's Tale, which you read that one.
I did when I
That's
was young
Canadian
and stupid.
dystopian.
And it scared the absolute stuff out of me. And I've never been able to read anything by Margaret Atwood or ruined my life.
I suggest everyone read The Handmaid's Tale.
Terrified me.
I like the whispering. Terrifying.
Well, and I can still, do you remember in the book that she was like trying to moisturize with butter pats, and the commander was like, oh, that's very ingenious of you. Every time I eat butter, I don't think of Last Tango in Paris. I think of The Handmaid's Tale.
Why don't we talk about what we're reading now? What are you reading?
I am reading, actually, I'm listening to Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, yes.
My hands are working. I can knit again, and so I need some audiobooks. So I'm starting from scratch. And my niece my 8-year-old niece has expressed an interest in Harry Potter.
Oh,
so I
good.
feel I need to refresh myself.
Oh, good. Yeah. It's nice to do a reread of Harry Potter.
Yes, and I actually haven't done one in a couple of years. I kind of lost my interest. And then I don't know, it's the 20th anniversary of something this summer.
It's the 20th anniversary of the release of the first book.
And so there's been a lot of, they put the movies back in theaters, and there's been a lot of, sort of pop culture reference to all things Harry Potter. So it's kind of got my
interest piqued.
Yeah, again.
I'm reading The Breakdown Lane by Jacqueline Mitchard, and the husband in that book, I just kind of want to reach in through the pages of the book and give him a slap. So
is it new? Is it like domestic noir?
No, it's
I don't know that, I know the name of the author, but I don't know if she's currently still writing or.
I feel like it's early 2000s maybe.
Okay.
But it's quite good. Her husband says he needs to take a sabbatical, and he goes off on a photography vacation for 3 months, and then he comes back, and then he says he needs to take another sabbatical later on, and then he never comes back. And then her kids go out and find him. Turns out he's got a new wife and a new baby.
And her name's Photography?
No, her name is Joyous.
Oh.
What's happening at the library?
Well, book clubs are starting up this month.
Book clubs are starting up this month.
And
I have space.
I can't remember if I said where our book clubs were.
These are the book clubs at the Amherst Library. So mine is the fourth Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. and yours is
the third Tuesday of the month. But
at 7 p.m.
Oh, yes, at 7 p.m. Mine's in the evening for all you people that still work. But Oxford has book club, Pugwash has book club, Spring Hill has book club as well. And I know Pugwash is always full, so put your name.
Is full with a waiting list.
Yeah. And
Oxford is fairly new, so they probably have space.
And Spring Hill, I think theirs is pretty full too. We had to start a second one in Spring Hill. The book club was so popular.
Also coming up is children and adults reading together and families exploring literacy. These are both early literacy programs, and I don't have enough time to give you all the details. So I would say go to our website, www.cumberlandpubliclibraries.
Or if you follow Julie on Facebook.
And you can find all kinds of information there. What are we talking about next week?
Well, we'll be talking about your favorite One Book Nova Scotia.
Awesome.
Don't forget also to check out our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. You can get it on the website again, www.cumberlandpubliclibraries.ca. We'll see you next week.
Bye.